Article 7. The ratification of the conventions of 9 states shall be sufficient for the establishment of this Constitution between the states so ratifying the same. And this is how the document becomes law.
Only not if you have to care.
Yeah, well, in theory, it was still possible for the Constitution to not become law. And they made that very, very clear, in part because, they didn't want anyone to be forced into being part of it. The whole thing was representation. So the Constitution was signed at the convention adjourned September 17th, 1787. Ratifying conventions began fairly soon, and on December 7th, 1787, Delaware was the first state to ratify the Constitution. They are very, very proud of this in Delaware.
Because would 9 states be 3/4 or 2/3?
9 states would have been 3/4.
So basically, the same way as amendment proposal ratification.
Yeah.
The Constitution need like a giant amendment.
Yeah. The Federalist Papers began to be published even before Delaware ratified, because anti-Federalist papers were starting to be published. And we know who published some of them, and we don't know who published others, and it's fine. The Federalist Papers were Hamilton, John Jay, and James Madison, under the name of Publius. So, yeah. So, Delaware ratified, Pennsylvania ratified, New Jersey, Georgia,
4,
Connecticut,
5,
Massachusetts,
6.
Though they've requested 19 alterations to be made to it. Rhode Island called for a state referendum rather than a state convention. So, there's that. The voters rejected it. 2,708 to 237.
So Rhode Island
Maryland,
7.
Huh? Yeah, that is, there weren't a lot of voters in Rhode Island, but that was the voters in Rhode Island by approximately 10 to 1 saying, no, thank you.
I think they're the last ones to do it.
Yeah. Okay. Maryland, South Carolina had
8.
2 alterations they wanted made. New Hampshire.
9. And they're the first 9, now it's legal.
June 21st, 1788. New Hampshire requested that 12 alterations be made.
And that was the start of the amendments, I guess.
They were all starting to talk about amendments at that point.
What by alterations.
Yeah.
So now we have the 9. Now all we have left is the 4 left handout. 4 holdouts.
Yeah. Virginia.
10.
North Carolina wanted a Bill of Rights so bad that they voted to neither ratify nor reject. New York had alterations they wanted made.
10.
But they ratified, so they're 11.
11.
First election, then 1789. 10 of the 13 states cast votes in the election, because 2 of the states hadn't ratified yet, and New York hadn't sent their delegates in time, which, if you know anything about the history of New York from that era, is not actually surprising.
Wasn't New York the capital of this, or was that Pennsylvania still?
It's Pennsylvania still.
Or Philadelphia, whatever.
New York they moved on March 4th
to New York.
New York.
So next it was 12. What was North Carolina finally?
Yeah, North Carolina was 12.
And then finally, good old Rhode Island.
Yes. requesting 21 alterations. Vermont in 1791, but that was 1790 by the time Rhode Island actually ratified the thing. On January 6, 1791, they began a convention to consider letting Vermont join as the 14th state. They ratified the Constitution and applied for admission 4 days later. So by the time things really got going, Vermont was already a state.
But Rhode Island beat them, I think, right?
Yes, Rhode Island beat Vermont, but not by as much as you might think. By like a little over 6 months.
That would be funny if one of the 13 original 13 colonies wasn't one of the original 13 states.
The 14th state, yeah.
And so, but now every state has to ratify the Constitution before they become an actual state, right? I think.
Yes. Yeah. Part of the process of statehood is accepting the Constitution, which is reasonable.
And with that, we are finally done with the main document.
Next time it gets exciting.
Changing it. We'll see you all in that part.